So let's start with component unboxing. All right, so I guess I'll start with just a simple explainer. I had a customer come in who said he wanted to build the Linus Tech Tips pay-to-win gaming PC. He said he bought all the parts and that he just needed someone to put it together. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to unbox everything and take a look at everything and see what all we got here. So first off, we have our Core i9. It's the special edition. It's the 13900 KS. Still, even though it's the expensive one, still comes with the silver box. It's upsetting. All right, set that off to the side. Fans. We have a couple Noctua fans. So we have, these are the NF-A12s. These are the NF-A14s. I think these are all NF-A14s. We have, this is going to be Windows 11 Pro. Just move that off to the side. We have two 990 Pro SSDs. We have, this is the TridentZ D5. What speed is these? What speed are these? 6400 megahertz. Oh, we'll get to the GPU in just a second. We have the Thermal Grizzly CPU frame for the i9, or for the current gen Intels. Pull this out here. And I'm going to have to go through and actually read this, because this, I have to remove the actual frame and install this. So this is going to be exciting. So I need to go and actually read through Oh, I have to tighten these screws to a specific torque rating. That's going to be fun. There's Thermal Grizzly stuff. Anything else in there? Screws. I am not looking forward to doing that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We have some Kryonaut Extreme Thermal Paste. We have, move some of the stuff out of the way. We have a Seasonic TX1600. We have a Corsair IQ H170i. This is the thing I'm actually the most excited about. We have a Z790 Dark Kingpin. Like, I'm excited to actually put this in the build. Getting built in a Fractal Torrent, and of course, our GPU is an ROG Strix Gaming 4090. So, this is an expensive build. Is the pay-to-win PC from Linus Tech Tips. What I am mostly concerned with this, and the person that bought all this stuff, like, bought all of these Noctua fans that you see me struggling with, because in this build they do something a little bit that's like counterintuitive to what I normally deal with when building PCs, which is the radiator, they have fans in front of and behind the radiator. So, and I am genuinely confused about, I'm genuinely confused about how you would actually get that set up. Because this cooler isn't going to come with the screws to do all of that.
Total waste of money, you know? Let's talk hard.
Yeah.
Naturally, we gotta start with the best. Videos. We proved the IO from Corsair.
Alright, so this is the inside of this case. And what's nice is they did the math for me on how much this stuff's going to cost. So I don't have to go through and do the math. And no, this looks like it's exhausting through the radiator. It 100% does. Yeah, I agree. But you can see these are all going that way, which I highly, highly don't recommend. But now you see that they're on the front and the back. So my question is, how are they actively mounting this? That's what I'm confused about. Because to mount it to this case, like, I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm just a little bit.
Noctua industrial fans and 3 NF-A12s at the bottom of the case for fresh air to our GPU, which we then exhaust through the front-mounted radiator where we remove the dust filters entirely for better airflow. Finally.
So, and this is what I'm worried about right here, is doing this. Like Jay's 2 cents just did a whole video on why pulling air across a radiator into a case is better. It's not a beefy radiator, it's a Corsair radiator, so it's not that beefy.
We swapped out the stock retention bracket for a thermal Grizzly bracket to give us a few more degrees of cooling on the CPU. And up in the attic lives our power supply from Seasonic, who sponsored this video. LGA zip off the board here, it's across the
So that's what we're going to be dealing with. Perhaps they tested it and it is optimal. So we will see. And now, unlike Linus, here's it's time for a message from nobody. Let's start unboxing this stuff. We'll start with our Kingpin. I am actually excited about this. This is the first Kingpin product I've had through here. And I am excited to see like what kind of stuff that I'm going to have here. HP's support page has problems every single day. I just tweeted out that I'm doing this, so we'll see if I get anyone from this. All right. First things first, we got our Kingpin motherboard. Oh. Isn't this all fancy? Doing an unboxing here. Break this in a couple things. Installation quick guide. Aw, I expected this to be like a forward, like a hey, thanks for buying this super rare and exclusive product. But new. Got an accessory kit. We'll go through that in a second. We got our board here. Ooh. What is this? So we have our board. This is a E799 base plate. It's a tench. This is a test bench. Very special thanks, OC Team EVGA. So you can set this up, just set this down, put posts through this, and then build the computer on this. That's kind of cool. Yeah, and here's the standoffs for that. There's the standoffs for that. Here is the Wi-Fi connectors. We have our screws. We have our USB disk that has all our drivers on it. We got our EVGA sticker. What is this? I had to figure out what this is. I'm not sure what that is. Some more screws. SATA connector. So I just need to figure out what that is. It seems it's pretty thorough. We're gonna set this Wi-Fi aside for the time being. Not gonna worry about that. Oh, I don't want to lose this. Set that aside. Let me look at the book and see if it tells me what this is. This is a probe IT cable. I've never seen that before. Oh, it's a full build guide on how to actually put this thing together. Probe it. I'll have to figure out what that's for. Let you monitor the voltages? Oh, okay. Like I said, I've never personally seen one of those. You guys knowing what this is all fancy and stuff. So I am not going to be building this as a test bench. But the fact that it comes with this is dope as hell. I have to buy one of these. I probably should have got one of these for the Starfield build. But again, this motherboard by itself is $800. So then again, maybe not. All right, let's take a look at the actual board itself. Woo! That's a chunky boy. As it should be. All right, first things first. Let's take a look at the back here. I'm going to get this out of there. All right, overall, this thing looks beefy. Let's get this off of here. Got some heft to it. We have different BIOS selectors, and it even tells you what it has. It has the switches that let you select different PWM conditions. You can change the speed of the LED for the post, so you can see if it's like what part it's getting hung up on, if any. All right, so we're gonna get all these peels off of here. So, interesting thing, we have our memory up here for it's just dual channel, which is awesome. Reset switch, power switch. Our power delivery is horizontal instead of being vertical off the board, which is absolutely awesome. Instead of the CPU power being up here, the 12 volts, they are right over here. So all of your power delivery in one place is really awesome. And it makes cable management super easy, especially with the way this is going to go in the case. Then we have our socket, which, I mean, I guess that's where I'm going to start with this build. I'm going to go ahead and just toss the CPU in there. All right, so M2 slots are underneath here. Because this only has the 2 PCI Express slots, it should be able, the actual PCI Express slots on this, oh, there's 3. That should mean that these are much, much higher speeds. So, we have JCM1, JCM2, and JCM3. Let's go ahead and install this. And now let's just immediately go ahead and put this cover back on here. So what's interesting is one half, I'll show it on the microscope if my microscope is working today. Hey, look at that, it is. So one half of the screws are these, which have a screw on the, which actually have threads on them, and they're what goes on this side. And the other side is just standard. You know what? I need to check before I put this back down. Yeah, I knew I needed to check. That would have been embarrassing. And then the other side is your standard screws. Now, this is going to be the nerve-inducing part. I have to remove this socket. Now, thermal, we're going to be putting this Core i9 in here. I don't want to over-tighten this. It has specific recommendations as far as how tight you're supposed to make this. That's, you know, nerve-wracking when you're dealing with this. The i9 13900KS. No! Absolutely not! If someone came into my office and asked me to do that, I would say yes. I will do it for the full cost of a new CPU. That way, when it doesn't go exactly the way it's supposed to, you will have already paid for the second CPU. All right, let's get this out of here. And we're going to be using, I think it's this one. Sure, it's not hard, but I am not taking that liability. I am not taking that risk. You guys can do it on your own personal machines, but I'm not going to do it when I potentially am going to lose time and money. Man, this is on there hard. Alright, so we just got to be careful when we're doing this, not to damage the socket, not to damage the components underneath. There's that. This came with its own screws. The 8? I don't think you'd get an extra 8 from delivering it. Maybe like 9. Alright, so here's the moment of painful truth. So we're going to take this. Go. Do that backwards. Yes, I did. Goes like that. Now, let me see here. I need to see which way this is supposed to go. Nope. Alright, so it's reversible. So that's on there. This bracket, I gotta line up this bracket very gently. And of course, they wouldn't use the same size screws as what came with the computer. Like, no, why would we do that? Not large enough. Let's get this one. Again, not large enough. Close enough that I can start getting this installed. Hopefully not cross-thread anything, because that's one of my oldest nemesises. Cross-threading stuff. Like if you ever buy a car from me, I promise you there's bolts on there that have been cross-threaded somewhere. I love how much this thing wants to move. That's just, you know, the best feeling. CPU contact frame. You'll notice I'm doing this by hand with just this and not the tool. I will momentarily use the tool. Now, this thing is close to being tight. We're going to tighten it down like so. That is hand tight. So we're gonna hand tight, and then we're just gonna go half a turn, half a turn, half a turn, half a turn. All right, next thing we're gonna do. So we have all of these fans, and at no point are we gonna be using the fans that came with this cooler. So, you know, figure out the anti-RGB-ness of this. So, I'm going to leave that in there. We're gonna leave all the fans in there. We do need this stuff. Fans are staying in there because all of the fans in the case are going to be Noctua. We're going to build it exactly like they did. Because the Corsair Commander here has regular fan hookups in it. So I can, despite the fact that we're not using the Corsair fans, we can still put them in here and control them, which is good. Now, we are going to do something that is completely backwards than I have always told people to do it, and it's specifically because we're following the build from the YouTube channel exactly. This is going to be a front mount, and they're doing something I don't like at all. It's going to be set up like this. So this will still be the highest point of the radiator, so we should be fine. Any bubbles or anything that'll accumulate will accumulate here, because that will still be the highest part of our loop. Hi there, Editing Chris here. So in the video you're watching right now, I am putting the CPU cooler all-in-one radiator upside down compared to what was done in the Linus Tech Tube videos. I don't know why they did it the way they did. Maybe it made sense to them at the time, but moving the actual in and out ports to the top just made more sense, and there was a lot more room in the case after I did it. So that's why you're seeing me struggle with this right now, because I'm trying to figure out if I can flip it. So thanks. Let's move this off to the side. We need to move this motherboard a little bit here. We'll install this bracket. I gotta have room for this case. Here's our Intel hardware. AMD AM4. There's that. And then this is LGA 1700. So there's that. Let's see how well this goes. Flip this guy over. Make sure we pull off our little 3M adhesive. You doing all right? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Then line this guy up. What are you doing?
I pushed the end so it doesn't catch on my dress.
Just be careful, please. I don't want you falling and hurting yourself. Alright, move these in a little bit. One, two. Getting this lined up on here is going to be a pain in the butt. Alright, let's get that pressed down. Everything's lined up. Flip this guy over. And open our nice resealable packaging. Thank you, Corsair. That away, and we are going to thread these onto here. Get these nice and tight without using the tool. Yeah, I loaded it up last night. So I'll probably be creating a character tonight after I play a little bit of Diablo. And then delve into that world again. All right. Get them in there, make sure they're all nice and tight. Once you have them tightened down, you can't turn them anymore with your fingers. And then we're going to take this, we're going to throw it away. No, we're going to set it off to the side. We got some white TG clear tint, the fan brackets. We got some accessories. We have this. Oh, I really hope this is the wood front one, I hope. I still want to do a build in one of those. All right, here we go. There's my handles. That. Hey, look at that. There's a user guide. We'll look at that in a second. Let's get this out of this nice bag. This bag is actually really nice. I know you guys can't feel it. No, it's not the wood one. It's the metal one. I know you guys can't feel it, but this bag feels super nice. Got a nice texture. It's LDBE. Don't put your head in it. Not breathable. All right. Now, let's lay this down. So currently this has 280 millimeter fans in it that we're going to be removing, and we're going to be putting this in its place. I bet it does. But I'm pretty sure if you went around telling everyone that, your girl would get angry with you. Red, attention. In the event of having received a faulty product, before returning any product, please contact a reseller of Fractal Design. Into the box you go. Here's our torrent guide. Ooh, this is high quality printing here. Yeah, exactly, that's the point. All right. So it actually has illustrations of different ways to set this up. So this here is exactly what we're looking at. They recommend putting the pipes the other way around. I don't know why the LTT people did it like that. I really don't. I think I'm going to do it this way, despite the fact that they had this flipped. Like, I don't think there's a legitimate reason for that. All right. So, first things first. Let's get this top off of here. Yeah, right. I'm so far behind. All right. There's the top that now off. And this just comes out. Be careful with this glass. And lay this back down. Actually, we need to get the front off. Let's figure out what I need to do to get the front off. We got a couple screws here. This is a very expensive build, to say the least. Alright, those screws did not need to come out. Screws back in. Screws going back in. Alright, so it's crazy once you get all this stuff out, how much like lighter it is. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. This is the actual filter. They removed theirs. I'm going to leave this one in because this is going to be used in a home environment. It's not being used in a like a studio environment where it doesn't matter. We're going to leave that in there as long as it doesn't interfere with the fans that we're putting in there. If it does, then I'll have to remove it. But this is a nice sturdy piece. Good on you, Fractal. I'm gonna have to start looking at doing some builds in your cases. Let's see what else is in this box. So this is going to be the front fan brackets for the I was hoping these were going to be white. These are for the 240 and 140 millimeter fans. So I will build the radiator on this and then put this whole thing in the case. That's what's going to happen there. And that's all that's in this box. There. And here's the accessories that this comes with. So let's find that book. Here's that book. Let's see what these accessories are. You'll find it. It'll be in the place that you least expect it. So this is a GPU support, which I'm probably going to have to install in this one, unless the 4090 comes with its own. A microfiber cloth for the glass, and then just assorted zip ties and screws, which we will leave out here. And again, Fractal, thank you so much for these. Like, they're resealable bags. You are a good company. You understand that, like, one-time use bags are plastic waste. Good job, guys. You guys are killing it. All right. Let's move this off to the side. Let's move this off to the side. We now need to look at the front of this case. So, these brackets are going to go in here like this. So let's see what the book says. Oh, you mean like one of these? Okay, how do we do this? Remove the top panel. There is a slim fan hub, which we are not going to use. Huh. All right, so we're going to take all these fans out. We need to remove these screws and these screws. Let's go ahead and do that. Like, I don't want to mess this up, so I'm going to do something I very rarely do, which is read the instructions. I'm usually a figure it out on my own kind of guy. But I don't want to mess this up. That's what it's going to come down to, 100%. One, two. Three, four. All right. So thankfully, we get to use the exact same amount of screws putting this thing back in here. I don't have to go hunt down more screws. Let's go on the outside, maybe. So I'm supposed to mount this first. I need to mount the radiator first. And it does go on the outside. All right, cool. That works for me. Yeah, so that goes like that. And there's just going to be two on each side. Man, that doesn't seem like enough. Oh well, that's what the instructions say to do. All right, let's move. All right. So, yep, we're going up. This is gonna go here. Yeah, that's much better than having these. I don't know how in the world they got these radiator cables, radiator hoses coming out of the bottom of this PC. It's mind-boggling to me. All right, we have one more fan to install, which is going to be the rear fan, which is going to go back over here. But before we do that, in goes the Kingpin. lines up. Feels like something's not lining up right now, which is a problem. Do not drag this along the bottom. Alright, let's see which screws we're going to use here. So, my only concern right now... Oh, that's right, there's a cooling plate on the back of this. I forgot about that. Okay. Let's see if these are the right screws. Okay, let's put this on here. See, it's like we're painting. We're going to put it all on here. Get as much of it here as possible. Try and make it so that there's no All right, so now that that's on there, when I put the actual CPU cooler on here now, it's going to compress. It's going to spread out all the rest of the way. And we are going to do it like so. Now, I've had a few people ask me about these, like when you're threading these on.
I just want to move over to the side.
These need to go down all the way tight. They don't go finger tight, they go all the way tight. So that once everything is tightened down there, it makes proper contact. And we are using that contact frame. All right. Here we go. 1, 2. I need to get, before I forget, there is a wrap on the outside of this thing. Right. We're going to do cross. So that one, that one. That one, and that one, and then this is not adjustable like I was hoping it was going to be. Alright, so we're going to have to contend with where the memory is on this, because that's something that the designer of this probably didn't think was going to be an issue. But we might have to have this thing curved. I might have to rotate this whole thing 90 to the right. Clockwise, as it were. Let's see how well this stuff clears. That one is fine. There we go. So, this guy's going to go like that. And it's going to go through that hole right there. And this is just, this should be the CPU fan. This is pump. Go up and out this hole. And once it comes time to do cable management, we'll actually manage this down. This is going to go like that. And it should be good. Yeah, looking all right, looking all right. Memory installed. All right, we got one more fan to install in the back. So let's give this guy a rotate. Yeah, plastic actually has a surprisingly high melting point. Thankfully. So they have theirs set as an intake, and I'm going to do the same thing, because we need to be able to bring in as much cool air as possible with this build. Let me see if this is actually enough room to pull this fan through. Look at that, it is. So this is going to be an intake fan up here. A filterless intake fan. Finally. Okay, so that isn't installed. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing that. I'll tell you that right now, especially not with a customer's computer. That. There's that. The absolute most expensive part of this build. Yes, I'm doing my best to make sure all of the cables are absolutely hidden. Alright. Pull all... We got peels all over this guy. That's one peel. I'm so glad I didn't forget to unmute my mic. Two peels. I'm sure someone would have said something. Here's peel number 3. Peel number 4. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. That's all the ones out the front. Here's number 8. There's not a tab, so I gotta find a corner. 8. And finally, numero 9. 9 peels. Definitely not plastic waste. No, I'm good. 1 peel. 2 peels. Now that'd get old quick. Yeah, this guy's hefty. Okay, so let's see where this boy's gonna line up. Oh, this is so tight. All right, so this is gonna line up with these two. Now, one thing that I need to install over here is going to be the bracket. This actually came with a bracket specifically for holding up video cards. This is my chunky boy. Where's that bracket? Here's my bracket. Let's see exactly what I need to install this bracket. I need water. That is correct. Given enough time, this card will pull the PCI slot off of the motherboard. I am going to need to pull out the book on how to actually assemble this thing, so give me 2 seconds. We have good contact. We have positive lock. Holy crap. The gap. Sure, there's a gap. How the hell did they have as large of a gap that they did in their video? That's what I want to know. Somewhere along the lines, they cheated. Like, they had to have. Yeah, and what's nice is we have a comparable system to compare it to. Because the PC that I built last week was it was very similar hardware-wise. The only thing that was really different was the so it's a different CPU. It's a half step down on the CPU. It's not a KS, it's just a K. And the GPU is a 4070 versus a 4090. So that's going to be so that's now mounted. Okay. Last but not least, I pray that this actually fits in the top of this case. We're starting to get up in weight, boys. The last component to be installed. We have our Seasonic TX1600, which is more than what they use, because they only use a 1300. I am just very much hoping it physically fits in here because it's a 1600 watt power supply versus a 1300 watt power supply. But you know, you never actually know. Seasonic, good on you. This bag is beautiful. It's actual velour. Look at all the holes. Look at them all. All right. Look, address this, because I haven't really addressed it at all yet. And that is... all of these power cables have to come through this space right here. All of them. Because they're going to come down and then get distributed here amongst what I need. So, to help reduce the weight of this and give us a little bit more room for things, these guys are coming out. Don't need these. And if at any point he can just put them back in. Come on. This is the behind the scenes from Floatplane that you never got to see with this, 100%. All right, there you go. Now we have equal gaps here for these fans. It doesn't look bad. Only thing that looks bad is this sticker that's not angled in the right direction. But not really anything I can do about that, because otherwise the cable would be coming from the left side of the fan and that would not have worked. Alright, so power cables. Yay. That one. That one. That one. The one SATA connector that we need for Corsair IQ. Emily, your system should let you know if you're using GeForce. Or if you're using the GeForce Experience. That's what I do. I don't actively go look for them. And it's not like there's going to be a huge difference. This is an AMD. Alright, so now let's get we got all these cables ready to go. Let's get them plugged in. About to have my first real, actual... I wonder if that's going to work moment. It's going to be this guy. Oh yeah. Look at that. No problem. No problem, brah. Okay. This cable management is going to be like a nightmare. Straight up a nightmare. And now, let's Mario would say. Let's go! Alright. Power. Power, 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 power. We got power. Lay this down. And 3, 2, 1. This thing is loud. And we are at 27C. This thing is cool. Hey, thanks for watching that video. You can check out some of the other videos for more tech-related content. And if you want to catch me live, I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out, chat, and maybe learn a thing or two.